Hey guys, I finished my Warthog build this week and I just wanted to go over a couple of the things that I did to it that make it a little bit different. This is the Warthog kit. It's designed by a guy whose screen name is Cinemoto on YouTube. He also has a Cults 3D account where you can buy the chassis already printed and ready to go, or you can buy the files from him and print them yourself, which is what I did. I wanted to go for a bit of a comp crawler look with mine and less of a truck look, so I made some changes to accomplish that. One of the things that I did, which isn't necessarily for the comp crawler look, but it's more of a practical thing, was that I put a mesh over the windows. And I put the mesh over the windows because I don't like the way that the wires would poke out the side, and I didn't like the way actually that it looked, where you could see everything crammed in there. So I just added that mesh. I still like the way it looks without the windows, but I really like the way it looks with everything hidden in there. I went ahead and I used button head screws instead of the cap head screws that are mentioned in the kit and that I see a lot of guys using. And I know that you can go either way, but I chose it because it keeps things smooth on the side. I went ahead and designed my own deck, roof and deck, rear deck. I put some holes in there to make it interesting to look at, as well as to let out any heat that might build up, because most of the time I crawl in the warmer weather. I put a little spoiler on the back because the back is basically flat, so I stuck that on there to make it look a little bit more interesting in the back. I also, at the last minute, I added these stripes. I'd never intended for this to have a blacked out theme, but it just turned out that way. And then when I looked at everything, it was just too black, and too shiny. So I sprayed all of the printed parts with the Tamiya flat paint, and that knocked all the shine off of it. And then at the last minute, I thought it still needed something else, so I put these silver stripes on there. And that sort of gave it a little bit of pop. In order to get more of the comp crawler look that I was really after, I went ahead and I modified the print, and I took the rails off the front and the hood that covers the servo. I think, like I said earlier, it gives it less of a truck look and more of that sort of desert crawler look. Plus, I think it's really cool to watch the body move and to see the servo move up and down and side to side. So I really like the way that looks and the way that came out. I am also running the links that are designed by the same guy. These are the high clearance links, front and rear. And they are really nice. And they go way up to the drive shaft, but just stop at the perfect spot. You can buy them from him too. And they come 8 to a pack, so you could actually build 2 trucks, 2 Warthogs with 1 package of links. And I guess you could also use them on another build and have a really nice set of high clearance links. One of the bigger things that I did was I moved the electronics to the back and the battery to the front. The stock Warthog has the axial ESC and receiver in the front here. It slides right in there, and then the battery slides up underneath the rear deck. But I wanted more of the rear, or rather more of the front weight bias like a comp crawler would normally have, so I stuck the battery up in the front. You could put the stock axial ESC in the back. If you decase it, it would be a really tight fit, and it's possible, and that's what I was going to do. Then at the last minute I decided to do something different, and I went ahead and got a German-made ESC that's the size of a postage stamp, micro size adjustable BEC, and a nano size receiver that works with my Sanwa radio. So up under here is the receiver just in this little spot here, and then the ESC and the BEC are under here. You can see the receiver right there in the back. It's 12 by 17, so it's really small. And then you can see the ESC and the BEC in the back there. since it's so small, it clears all of the suspension so nothing's hitting, and I've got all the travel, and you can see it right in there. So I really like the way that worked out. I am also running some rear upper links that I had to make myself, and I'm running the Torque Beast 2.0 motor, and if any of you have run that, you know that it's so long that it hits the rear upper links at full compression. So I went ahead and I bent up a set of my own. You can see them up there on top, and what that does is it allows the compression, or it allows the body to sit flat at full compression, whereas before it would sit like this because the upper link was hitting the motor and causing it to bind up. So now you can see it sits nice and flat. And what I did was I just bent them up so that they go out to the side here by the motor, and I tried to match it on that side, and then they also have to go up a little bit because the Warthog kit uses a cross brace to support the rear, so I had to clear that as well. And so that's how they came out. So everything clears, and I have all my articulation and nothing hits at full compression, so it worked out pretty well. I am running a link riser that I designed to give a little bit more rise on the rear links, maybe about 5 mils. I don't know if it's going to make any difference, but decided to try it. And I went ahead and designed a servo mount for the Mofo servo that allows it to sit a little bit more the way that I wanted it to sit. The holes line up, so you don't have to guess which hole it's going to be put in and whether or not it's going to sit flush. The Warthog kit is 4-linked, so I beefed up the area where the upper links screw in so that I didn't have to worry as much about them falling out or stripping or whatever. And we'll see how long it lasts out there on the rocks once I actually get some time to really play with this thing. And I think that's about it. So that's my Warthog build. It's something that I highly recommend. It gets a lot of attention. It was a great build. Everything goes together perfectly, whether you print it or buy it ready to go. So I suggest you go ahead and give one a try. I'll put a link in at the end of the video and a couple of pictures so that you can take a look at them yourself and get one for yourself.